Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my flappy friends, Jase and Dedeker, teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. For those of you who are not watching us do this lovely show, Jase and Dedeker looked like they were about to take flight. It was really amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of an interpretive dance for the heights that reading the Bible will take you to.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I was thinking, I get really into ecstatic dance. It's something that I really enjoy a lot.
You love it.
And it's kind of like incorporating ecstatic dance as like a ritual to get ready for reading the Bible.
Yeah, there you go. That's beautiful.
Kind of shake off the cares of the normal world and be ready for the wacky world of Ezekiel.
Exactly. Yes. Incredibly important. Wow. All righty. Well, last week, my goodness, we went on a journey into Ikea yet again. And Jase,
you just got lost in the biblical Ikea.
We really did.
You do. It's like you go into the biblical Ikea. There's no food. There's no little
There's food in Ikea.
In the biblical Ikea.
Oh,
it's the worst one. There's no food.
I see.
There's no little arrows on the ground to tell you where to go. But there's no windows. The lights, sometimes they can just switch off the main power and you're just in the dark occasionally. And then they switch it back on and you're somewhere entirely different in the store. Like, this is my experience of the biblical Ikea.
But then every now and then you'll find a sign with instructions. And it's like, the next section is, 12 spans to your left and then 3 cubits up and then, across 5, I don't know, what's another unit of measurement? Shekels? I don't know. Something like
I think that's a unit of currency, but yes.
It's a unit of weight, which is also currency.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. The most amazing thing about last week was that Jase tried to write down / create a beautiful outline diagram thing.
Blueprint,
That's
if you
it.
will.
Yes, of exactly what was going on. I don't think I could have done that. I mean, I was reading and Dedeker was reading, so I don't know. It was really impressive.
And I believe, did you post that in the Facebook group yet, Jase, or were you waiting until we got the full dimensions?
Oh.
No, I am going to post that in the Facebook group for the past episode, because we record these live episodes like almost a week in advance.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I do still need to post it, but by the time you're listening to this, that will be up from last week.
Great.
And then this week, for people in the live audience, I have gone way out of my way and overcomplicated an already very complicated to produce show. And I have set up a view so that I'm able to show you my live drawing here while you're watching the show.
Surprising no one that he's done this.
Wow.
Surprising no one.
Look
wow.
at it.
Wow.
Okay, now okay, so for our listeners at home, basically I'm looking at a view where you can see all of our lovely shining faces and also you can see a top-down view of Jase's illustration. It really brought me back to some 90s shows on public access that were for kids, like drawing shows for kids of like, this is how you draw
what were
a
those
donkey.
things that people your teacher would roll in?
Like the
that
overhead projector sort of
yes,
thing?
The projector that had like the little crane arm thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And they weighed 600 pounds.
Yeah, totally.
This is the internet's version of that. Exactly.
Super cool.
So you're going to teach us how to draw temple blueprints.
Yes, yeah. This is a temple drawing class.
Oh, cool.
Hidden inside
a Bible study.
Inside of a drunk Bible study
study
episode. Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. Well, while we're getting ready for that, what are y'all drinking?
Oh, goodness. I'm having a lovely and refreshing whiskey ginger.
Do you have like ginger ale or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Really, really good ginger ale.
Nice.
It's very tasty.
Awesome. Love it.
And then I'm having a whiskey Coke with a cane sugar natural cola that's real delicious.
Heck yes.
So we're both doing sort of
Similar but
fancier-ish
different.
versions of pretty basic drinks.
No, but those are always good, always classics.
Mhm.
I'm continuing down my vintage road of vintage cocktails.
Right.
And today, this is a gin sour, which I had no idea that you could make a sour. Like, I always think of sours as like whiskey sours, but this is a gin sour.
Interesting.
And yeah, the like classic thing is to do a rim of orange in there. So I threw that guy in there, which is fun.
Sweet.
It's aquafaba based, not egg white based. Although obviously, if you want to create the real thing, then egg whites are what the traditional recipe calls for. So highly recommend. It's really good. I like it a lot. Use a dry gin, not a herbal gin.
Lovely.
Anyways, I'll post that. Yay. So shall we get this show on the road? This drawing show?
We should.
Yes, let's get this drawing show started.
What are we doing today?
All right, today we are continuing on in our third to last episode of Ezekiel
Yes.
with 3 more chapters, 41 to 43, and then 2 Psalms, which are Psalms 81 and 82. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, it's Ezekiel 41. He brought me to the temple and measured the posts, 6 cubit broad on one side and 6 cubits broad on the other side, which was the breadth of the tent.
Okay, Jace, you got to
We're
get...
just really, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're jumping right in. You got to get ready. So these are the measurements of the temple on the inside,
Yeah, and
right? Or like the actual temple building.
Yeah, is this, are we outside or are we inside the temple? That's an important distinction to make here.
Well, he brought me to the temple, the actual
it says
temple.
to the temple. So yeah.
Yeah, not just the complex. I think
Okay,
you were
okay.
drawing
I'm
out.
going to start a new page here.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, create maybe like an interior of the temple.
yeah, okay. I'm going to assume the temple's kind of squarish, but who knows?
Sure.
Okay.
Who knows?
It says the posts were 6 cubits broad on one side and 6 cubits broad on the other side, which was the
Yeah,
breadth of the
that's
tent.
Breadth of the tent. Okay, I guess this is in a tent?
Your guess is as good as mine.
There's a tent involved.
It's probably,
There's a tent somewhere.
yeah.
Someone has a tent somewhere in this area. Okay, great.
The breadth of the entrance was 10 cubits, and the sides of the entrance were 5 cubits on one side and 5 cubits on the other side.
So I guess that's the entrance.
Yeah.
So it's maybe got some like small doors and then like a
Oh,
big
yeah.
door in the middle, maybe.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Sure.
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay.
And he
So
measured...
that's 10 cubits. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And he
Mhm.
measured the length of it 40 cubits and the breadth 20 cubits. The length
of it. So it's like a big, long kind of an entrance. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Is it just like a big, long foyer, a big mud room, perhaps?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perhaps.
An entrance room.
Uh-huh.
Then he went inward and measured each post of the entrance 2 cubits and the entrance 6 cubits and the breadth of the entrance 7 cubits.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume I got this roughly right because I don't understand what that means.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm surprised that you're just in pen, just committing to drawing
Yeah.
this in
Pretty
pen.
incredible.
I feel like that's the thing. If I were doing this, like to actually build this, I would probably do it in pencil and I'd probably use graph paper instead of a lined notebook like this. But since we're doing it live, there's no time to go back, you know?
Yeah, it's
You
kind of like
gotta just-
Inktober.
Right.
You know, ink, it forces you to make choices and commit to them
Exactly.
and work around your
Exactly.
mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he measured the length of it 20 cubits and the breadth 20 cubits before the temple. And he said to me, "This is the most holy place."
Oh,
Is this the like C-3PO guy?
I think it's still the
Yeah.
brass man. The brass
Yeah, the
looking
brass man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say like holy plus plus. Like this is super holy. This
Holy.
place. I'm assuming we're still just
Mega,
in the
mega
entryway
holy.
here, but you know the whole thing's probably holy. So it's cool.
Yeah. Then he measured the wall of the house 6 cubits and the breadth of every side chamber 4 cubits, round about the house on every side.
Okay, this is just about the walls. That's cool.
Okay.
All right. This got some there's some thickness to them. That's cool.
Yeah, they're
That's cool.
4 cubit. Yeah, 6 cubits, and the breadth is 4. So
Yeah,
6 by 4
okay.
is the width of the wall. The side chambers
It's a little
were
confusing,
in.
but all right.
Ooh, this is confusing too. The side chambers were in 3 stories, one over another,
Oh,
and 30 in order.
30?
And they end. Yeah,
Wait.
apparently.
Oh yeah. I had these. So that's all these. There's like these little houses kind of all around.
Got it.
Buildings all around the outside.
Yes, but 3 stories.
And 3 stories. You're gonna have to get into the Z-plane. On this.
But each of those. So like here, if I'll open up another piece of paper, like each of those, if I kind of do a little, each of those in perspective here has 3 stories to it.
Whoa.
Oh, this really brings me back to the drawing shows where they're like, "This is how perspective works, kids."
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that's what your stories look like. Okay,
this is called a vanishing point.
So they were in 3 stories, one over another, and 30 in order. 30 in order,
and so there's a whole bunch of these going on.
There's a million, 30 of them.
Cool.
And they entered into the wall which belonged to the house for the side chambers round about, that they may have hold therein and not have hold in the wall of the house.
Hold, is that HOLED? Like
nope, HOLD.
They hold.
So I think it's that they kind of go inside the wall a little bit, so the wall's kind of like coming out.
Yeah, they're tucked in like a little cubby.
Of like the middle of each.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like leaned up against the wall.
Yeah.
I think is the idea.
Oh, that's good, Jess. Look at that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. The side chambers were broader as they encompassed the house, higher and higher. For the encompassing of the house went higher and higher round about the house. Therefore, the breadth of the house continued upward. And so one went up from the lowest chamber to the highest by the middle chamber.
Okay, cool. So I'm assuming there's like a little sort of spiral staircase up through the middle of this.
This
or maybe
is
a ladder.
Extremely elaborate. I saw also that the house had a raised base roundabout. The foundations of the side chambers were a full reed of 6 great cubits.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what is a great cubit? Is that different than a normal cubit?
I can only assume they're bigger cubits, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
I'm assuming as well.
Okay, but they're raised up on a foundation.
It's like the cubit of a person with very long arms, I think, as opposed to the cubit of a normal person. That's a great cubit.
Like LeBron James or something.
Yeah, a LeBron James cubit.
Right. I bet he's got a longer cubit than we do.
Much longer than my cubit. Okay. The thickness of the wall, which was for the side chambers on the outside, was 5 cubits. And that which was left was the place of the side chambers that belonged to the house. Between the chambers was a breadth of 20 cubits round about the house on every side.
Yeah, totally. So the 20 cubits in between each of these guys out here. No problem.
Okay.
No problem. We got space for that.
You're like the architect. No problem. We can totally do
Yeah.
that.
2020, whatever. 2020.
Like Ezekiel is my like client or whatever. And I'm just like, 20 cubits between those? Sure, no problem. We can do that.
It's weird though, because you are showing Ezekiel and Ezekiel's the one being like, Ezekiel is you right now, Jase, and I am the boy.
Yeah, so Ezekiel is the architect.
I'm the golden boy.
And you're the golden boy. Okay, good.
Exactly.
You're C-3PO.
The doors, yes, I am C-3PO. The doors of the side chamber were toward the place that was the left, that was left. One door toward the north and another door toward the south, and the breadth of the place that was left was 5 cubits roundabout. I don't know if they mean like the directionally left or just like left out. I don't know.
Are we talking about the little houses or the big temple right now?
It says the doors of the side chambers
were
toward the place.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No problem. So there's like a door facing inward here.
Yeah.
And a door on the other side. No problem. Got it.
Oh, dear Godfrey in the chat is pointing out that we need a Starbucks at this point.
Oh, for sure we need a Starbucks.
Like now I'm envisioning this whole complex like the Grove in LA where there's going to be some artificial scents pumped in, or maybe it's like Universal City Walk.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just
and in the winter there's like fake snow that they do and
stuff.
Yeah,
that's
love it.
good.
Yeah.
That's
beautiful.
Good.
The building that was before the separate place at the side toward the west was 70 cubits broad. So there's a separate building that was 70 cubits broad?
There were other separate buildings last time, but those were to the east and the north and the south.
Well, this one's toward the west. So...
All right, another building. Tell me about it.
Okay, so the building that was before the separate place at the side toward the west was 70 cubits broad, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick roundabout, and the length of it 90 cubits.
Oof, okay, 90 by 70, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So he measured the house 100 cubits long. No idea where he's getting that from.
It's nonsense. Nonsense, Ezekiel.
Yeah, and the separate place and the building with the walls of it 100 cubits long. What the heck?
Oh, I see. It's because it's 90 cubits interior, and there's 5 cubit thick walls, which brings it up to 100 total.
To 100.
From the outside.
Got it.
Okay.
Thanks, Ezekiel.
It all checks out.
Okay, it does. Fine. Fine, God. Fine. Also, the breadth of the face of the house and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits.
Cool.
He measured the length. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
He measured the length of the building before the separate place, which was at the back of it, and the galleries of it on one side and on the other side, 100 cubits, and the inner temple and the porches of the court, the thresholds and the closed windows, and the galleries round about on their 3 stories, over against the threshold with wood ceilings round about.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Wood ceilings. Very, very classy.
Yeah.
Sort of farmhouse.
I know. It's going to be super classy.
Nice. Oh, see, okay, you went farmhouse. I was thinking more 70s, like wood paneling everywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, I don't hate that either.
Both are good.
I mean, farmhouse is on its way out. 70s is on its way back in.
It's definitely in. Yeah. Which means that probably farmhouse will come in again at some point.
In maybe 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. So, okay, wait. He measured the length of the building before the separate place, which was at the back of it.
Yep.
And the galleries of it on the one side and on the other side, 100 cubits. And the inner temple and the porches of the court and the thresholds and the closed windows and the galleries round about it on their 3 stories over against the threshold. With wood ceilings.
Sure, yeah, these also have 3 stories. Yeah, wood ceilings. We'll just make a little note here. Wood.
Yep. And from the ground up, the windows.
Oh, yeah,
and then
windows.
It says in parentheses, now the windows were covered.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. We got some windows with little like curtains on them. That's nice. A little privacy.
Yeah. To the space above the door, even to the inner house and outside, and by all the wall round about inside and outside by measure.
Great.
Cool.
Love it. Yeah.
It was made with cherubim and palm trees.
Ooh.
And a palm tree.
Yep.
A palm tree was between cherub and cherub, and every cherub had 2 faces. So there was, wow.
It's terrifying.
Now draw that too.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry. I'm drawing.
Wait, no. She's got more description. She needs to describe the whole
cherub
design. Yeah.
Okay, so every cherub had 2 faces. So there was the face of a man toward the palm tree on the one side, and the face of a young lion toward the palm tree on the other side.
Okay, sorry. There's a palm tree. This one's a young man. I'll give him a little spiky hair. And then this is a lion, so he's got a big mane there.
Give him a spiky mane. Yeah.
A mane with tips.
Yeah, okay, good. And then we got a palm tree on the other side here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got frosted tips on his lion mane. Don't worry about it.
Oh, for sure. I love it. Wow.
The cherub has 2 heads, all of which have frosted tips. Lion, human, doesn't matter.
This is some 90s shit if there ever was one.
All frosted tips all the time.
Yeah.
Thus was it made through all the house round about, from the ground to above the door were cherubim and palm trees made. Thus was the wall of the temple.
Yeah.
As for the temple, the doorposts were squared, and as for the face of the sanctuary, the appearance of it was as the appearance of the temple. The altar was wood, 3 cubits high, and the length of it 2 cubits. So this is the altar. Very
Yeah, we
important.
got a little altar here. Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 cubits high, and the length of it was 2 cubits. So it's pretty short on either end.
Oh boy. Okay, so it's just a little short guy here. Okay.
And so, length of it was 2 cubits, and the corners of it, and the length of it, and the walls of it were of wood.
Mm.
And he said to me, "This is the table that is before Yahweh." And I was like, whoa, got it. The temple and the sanctuary had 2 doors. The door had 2 leaves apiece, 2 turning leaves, 2 leaves for one door, and 2 leaves for the other.
Like some French doors, perhaps?
Well, it's sort of like a sliding door.
Or yeah, sliding doors. Some accordioned doors.
That's fun.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nice. They were made on them, on the doors of the temple, cherubim and palm trees, like as were made on the walls, and there was a threshold of wood on the face of the porch outside. There were closed windows and palm trees on the one side and on the other side, and on the sides of the porch, there were the side chambers of the house and the thresholds.
Wow.
That's it for 41.
So, Jase, I appreciate you and your level of
Yeah.
detail with these frosted tips
Yeah.
on these cherubim.
Look at that guy.
Okay,
Look at
Jase,
him
I want to
go.
give you a brief break from your furious drawing because I imagine this is hard to keep up with.
Yeah. This is a lot of work.
Now, I don't want you to read all of Eugene, but I am curious if you could give us a sense of how does he handle all these IKEA instructions? If you could just take a glance and see if there's any highlights or just what's his general approach here?
Yeah, I mean, he first of all, he converts everything into imperial units, which helps for those of us in the United States who understand imperial units. So, things
That's
like,
nice. Yeah.
like he says, let's see here. What's a good example? Let's try to understand that thing about the houses being around it with the walls going through it. What was that?
Goodness. Oh, is this was the wall of the temple, the post or no, I'm not sure.
Okay, here's a good example,
Okay.
actually.
Well,
How about this?
Give me do you have the number or no?
This is starting from verse 15.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It says, he measured the length of the house facing the courtyard at the back of the temple, including the shelters on each side, 175 feet. The main sanctuary, the inner sanctuary, and the vestibule facing the courtyard were paneled with wood.
Got
Dedeker,
it.
100%. Eugene is on
Got
board with you.
Yeah.
Were paneled with wood and had window frames and door frames in all 3 sections. From floor to windows, the walls were paneled. Just everywhere.
Paneled for days.
yes.
Okay.
So above the outside entrance to the inner sanctuary and on the walls at regular intervals all around were the angel cherubim and the palm trees carved in alternating sequence.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah.
funny. I don't find that to be extremely flattering or lovely, but maybe these
No,
were
it's
some
not
gorgeous
great.
boys and gorgeous lions, but still
Different, trends change over time.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
different strokes for different folks. Yeah.
Everyone thought the Live, Laugh, Love was great at one point in time. And
Mhm. Everyone thought wood paneling inside was great.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, everyone thought clapboard was great. And then,
you know
here
what?
we are. Everyone thought barn doors. We can
Yeah.
just go through the whole list of architectural and interior design trends going all
All
the way
right.
back to Ezekiel. And, it's all cycles. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to pick this back up again with
You gonna move on?
even more
Let's do
IKEA instructions. Are you ready, Jase?
yeah, ready.
Are you pumped?
Let's do it.
I'm so pumped.
so pumped.
Have you refreshed yourself? You ready to do some live drawing?
Yes, I stretched my wrist out a little bit. I'm ready to go.
Okay, good. Don't get a cramp. All right. Here we go. All right. Chapter 42. Then he brought me forth into the outer court, the way toward the north. And he brought me into the chamber that was over against the separate place, and which was over against the building toward the north.
Yep. No problem. I got a lot of porches out here. There are some priest houses, maybe some singer houses. And this is where the killing tables are, is out to
Right.
the north here.
Before the length of 100 cubits was the north door, and the breadth was 50 cubits. Over against the 20 cubits,
Sure.
which belonged to the inner court, and over against the pavement, which belonged to the outer court, was gallery against gallery in the 3rd story.
Ah, 3rd stories up here. Okay, so in
Yeah,
these ones on the
Whoa.
north side,
Jeez. Okay.
these are galleries.
Before the chambers was a walk of 10 cubits breadth inward, a way of 1 cubit, and their doors were toward the north. Now, the upper chambers were shorter, for the galleries took away from these more than from the lower and the middle in the building. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. Very technical.
Wow.
Yeah, the gallery, I guess, is like tall, and so it takes up some of the floors of these. It's weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
seems that way. For they were in 3 stories, and they didn't have pillars as the pillars of the courts. Therefore, the uppermost was straightened more than the lowest, and the middle from the ground.
Straightened.
Cool.
The wall that was outside by the side of the chambers toward the outer court before the chambers, the length of it was 50 cubits.
Yeah.
For the length of the chambers that were in the outer court was 50 cubits. And behold, before the temple were 100 cubits. From under these chambers was the entry on the east side, as one goes into them from the outer court. In the thickness of the wall of the court toward the east, before the separate place and before the building, there were chambers. The way before them was like the appearance of the way of the chambers which were toward the north. According to their length, so was their breadth.
So they're like squares.
Same. They're the same. Can you just say like it's the same all around? Come on.
Yeah.
And all their exits were both according to their fashions and according to their doors.
This guy's clearly like running out of gas here. He's just like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just, and then it's just the same all the way down.
You got it. We've been doing this for a while.
According to the doors of the chambers that were toward the south was a door at the head of the way, even the way directly before the wall toward the east as one enters into them. Then said he to me,
Yeah, okay.
the north chambers and the south chambers, which are before the separate place, they are the holy chambers, where the priests who are near to Yahweh shall eat the most holy things. There shall they lay the most holy things, and the meal offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering, for the place is holy.
Yeah, so holy.
Holy, so holy.
When the priests enter in, then shall they not go out of the holy place into the outer court, but there they shall lay their garments in which they minister, for they are holy, and they shall put on other garments and shall approach to that which pertains to the people. Okay, so there's kind of like an airlock system, it feels, with what garments they're wearing and which place.
I was thinking more like the room like that surgeons go through.
Yes.
Where you change into your scrubs and you sterilize and then you go into the chamber. Yeah.
You wash
and then you change on the way out.
for a while.
This is where they get off all the radioactive fallout as best as they can.
Yes, very important. Where is the ark is lost at this point, right?
It's
like
gone.
super lost.
It's gone at this point.
Sadly.
Yeah. Until the Nazis find it.
Yes, that
sadly.
historical event. Now, when he had made an end of measuring the inner house, he brought me forth by the way of the gatehouse, whose prospect is toward the east, and measured it round about. Okay, so that was the gatehouse. Yeah.
Gatehouse. Okay, there's a gatehouse. Okay, sure. I'm going to say there's a gatehouse here. Uh-huh.
He measured on the east side with the measuring reed 500 reeds, with the measuring reed round about.
Wait, is a reed a unit of measurement too?
I thought the reed was 6 cubits long, 10 cubits.
I thought it was 3 cubits.
Oh boy.
It's like a yardstick.
We did not synchronize our reeds, did we?
No, we really didn't. But I remember it being like roughly the length of a yardstick, but maybe that's wrong.
He measured on the north side 500 reeds with the measuring reed round about.
Jeez.
He measured on the south side 500 reeds with the measuring reed. He turned about to the west side and measured 500 reeds with the measuring reed.
It's a square. Oh my gosh, we get it.
Yeah, I do love that Ezekiel's following this guy around and he measures 2 walls and he's like, oh yeah, that's probably the rest. And he's like, nope. Gotta do all 4 walls.
Gotta do all of it.
All of it.
Yep.
That's why he's a droid.
Oh yeah, very precise.
Yes.
Yeah.
He measured it on the 4 sides. It had a wall round about, the length 500 and the breadth 500, to make a separation between that which was holy and that which was common.
Whoa. Everything else is common.
Yep.
Okay. Is that it for
I think that's it. And that's actually perfect because it means that Jase can now read this last chapter without having to draw at the same time.
Without having to draw the reeds.
That's just serendipitous.
I can read it without the reeds.
Oh, we need to take a little break though after all that.
Yeah. We need to take a break for all of you to finish up your drawings that I'm sure you've been doing at home. And also, if you're enjoying this show, we would love your support. The best thing that you can do right now is just to tell your friends about it. Bring more listeners along. We love doing this each week. And we would love for you to bring your friends to the live shows or just listen to the show, in the car. Just sort of blast it out the window at your apartment complex, like whatever it is you want to do, get more people listening. And if you love this show and you want to help support us keeping this show going, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. And as a thank you, we have things like early releases of episodes, personal toasts on the show, access to Emily's drink recipes and pictures of her ridiculously fancy drinks that you can try to keep up with the Emilys. That classic saying. It's like keeping up with the Baals, but with the
Cute.
Emilys. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's super fun. But anyway, we would love your support there. It would really mean a lot to us. And we're back. And it is time for Ezekiel 43.
Yes, it is.
I noticed in the Messages version of this, there's a heading title for this chapter called The Meaning of the Temple.
As though we didn't know what it was for?
Right. All I can imagine in my head that this is now C-3PO sort of droid-splaining to us like what a temple is all about.
Cute.
So, so here we go. Afterward, he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looks toward the east. Behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like the sound of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory.
Like the sound of many waters, like...
Probably like that, yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah. Yep, exactly. It was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city.
Wow.
And the visions were like the visions that I saw by the river Chebar. I'm assuming these are the trips that we had at the very beginning, right? And I fell on my face.
Yay.
Yay, drink for falling on your face. The glory of Yahweh came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. Okay, so that's Yahweh's preferred entrance, is this sort of east-facing one. Okay. So he came in from the east. The Spirit took me up. That's Spirit with a capital S, by the way.
Wow.
Spirit.
The Spirit, yes, took me up and brought me into the inner court. And behold, the glory of Yahweh filled the house.
Wait, is the house...
I heard...
Is the house... It's not here yet, but he's in like the proto house?
He's still in his vision, I think.
Okay.
I think we're still in the vision where C-3PO is throwing him around, showing him around.
Throwing him around.
Just tossing him.
Also throwing him around. Yeah.
Throwing him and showing him, yeah.
Uh-huh. So the Spirit, capital S, took me up and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of Yahweh filled the house. I heard one speaking to me out of the house, and a man stood by me. He said to me, Son of man, this is the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever.
So this man is God, is the Rock?
Yes, is totally the Rock.
Cool.
Yeah, the Rock's just standing there. He's like, hey, so this is my new place. What do you think?
Yeah.
A new pad. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. You better make it exactly like this. Do not screw it up.
The house of Israel shall no more defile my holy name, neither they nor their kings by their prostitution
Whoa.
and by the dead bodies of their kings in their high places, in their setting of their threshold by my threshold, and their doorpost beside my doorpost. And there was but the wall between me and them. And they have divided.
Okay, this sounds like this is getting into some kind of like a nice neighborly lawsuit maybe happened about you built this fence 6 inches onto my property.
Ooh.
And I just can't abide that.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take you to court because you're encroaching, buddy.
Okay. See, I was thinking it was more like we used to be in an apartment building, or maybe I had a room in their place, and I was sick of sharing a wall with them. And instead, now I have my own like standalone place, right? So I have privacy. I don't have to hear them messing about in the morning or whatever.
Their sex and religion shrines.
Yeah. This is what I loved
Right. Those are probably noisy.
about the place that you and I lived in, Jase. Like it was part of an
we
apartment
didn't share walls
complex.
with anyone.
We didn't share walls with anyone. It was
Right.
excellent.
Yeah. It was great. Okay, yeah, so he hates all of that. And they have defiled my holy name by their abominations which they have committed. Therefore, I have consumed them in my anger. Now, let them put away their prostitution and the dead bodies of their kings far from me.
Put them way over there. Goodness.
And I will dwell in the midst of them forever. You, son of man. Yeah.
Oh, right. You're
you
still
over
here.
there. Yeah, you, son of man.
You.
Show the house to the house of Israel that they may be ashamed of their iniquities.
Okay, hold on. Just hold on.
Okay.
First problem with that plan, Yahweh. Have you seen Ezekiel's drawings of this house? Unless,
Yeah.
hold on. Is Ezekiel going to take these drawings back and then he's going to use his Warhammer skills to build a miniature?
Oh, that's cool. And like paint
You know, like
it
those kind
yeah.
of prototypes that architects put out, like a tiny version of what the complex is going to
Yeah.
look like, and then he does like a big gala where he unveils it
Gala.
to the people of Israel, and everyone's going to stand around and be like, "What?"
Yeah. No, I love those models. They're so cool
Yeah.
with like all the little people in them, and it's under like a plexiglass case in like the
Little tiny
lobby
palm
of the
trees.
current building.
Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah,
Maybe
those
some like
little-
little tiny cows about to be slaughtered.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. So anyway, yeah. So he's going to have this big model and show it to them. But what confuses me is that the goal then is that they'll be ashamed because of it. They'll feel like,
Yeah.
we never designed anything that cool. Dang it. Okay, so not only that, but so show the house of Israel this thing, and let them measure the pattern. If they be ashamed of all that they have done, make known to them the form of the house and the fashion of it, and the exits of it, and the entrances of it,
Cheers.
and
Wow.
all the forms of it, and all the ordinances of it, and all the
What?
forms of it, and all the laws of it, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form of it and all the ordinances of it, and do them.
I just
Okay.
hold on. This interaction,
Calm down.
this if-then flowchart that has been laid out
Yeah.
now.
By God, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
If they're go
Yeah. If they're
go
ashamed,
show them the model, and
let them measure.
let them measure it for some reason.
Because they're going to be really interested in that, obviously.
Okay, and then if they're ashamed of what they've done, then just dump all this information on them. What does Eugene have to say about this? Because this interaction it's like an interaction out of a
It's
dream
strange.
where it doesn't make any freaking sense.
Exactly. It's very strange.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay. So I was going to say Ezekiel. Eugene says, "Son of man, tell the people
PPL.
The PayPal.
people, son of man, tell the people of Israel all about the temple so that they'll be dismayed by their wayward lives. Get them to go over the layout. That will bring them up short. Show them."
They're not going to care. I mean, maybe they will.
I really don't think this is going to go the way you think it's going to go.
But that's how
He's
all
so
of what
into this design.
That's
though.
like how most of his interactions with the Israelites have gone.
It's true.
They go in a
Mhm.
fashion and in a way that he doesn't like nor expect.
Yeah, it's like he's got
Mhm.
some very strange expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wow, this is great. He says, show them the whole plan of the temple, its ins and outs, the proportions, the regulations, and the laws. Draw a picture so they can see the design
check.
and meaning
Check,
and
check,
live
check,
by
check.
its design and intent. So we've done this. We're a step ahead of you,
we are.
Yahweh.
Always.
We're ready. Yes.
One step ahead of Yahweh.
Oh boy. Okay. Yes. I just love that he just has this long run-on sentence of like the exits And the entrance,
Like, make sure you point that out to
the
them.
same thing.
Make sure they know. It reminds me of that scene in Bruges where he's like, "Oh, the alcoves, like the alcoves. Do you talk to you about the alcoves?" Like that's what Yahweh is like right now.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing film.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, did you see all the cherubim and the palm trees on the walls? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
And the wood paneling,
super awesome.
So good." This is the law of the house, on the top of the mountain, the whole limit of it round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. These are the measures of the altar by cubits.
Oh.
The cubit is a cubit and a handbreadth.
Oh boy. Oh, Jase, we're back to measurements. Do you want to?
Shall we?
Do you want?
We're talking about the altar here.
Yeah, but do you?
No, this is okay.
You got it.
It's okay.
You're not
I think we can
okay.
handle this. Yeah. So these are the measures of the altar by cubits. And then in parentheses, it says the cubit is a cubit and a handbreadth. So this is like a different cubit that we're using right now.
Shoot.
Okay.
Oh, this is maybe that
cubit and
that great cubit.
A cubit and a quarter.
The great cubit that Emily read about, right?
Oh.
Right, the LeBron James cubit. I think so it's like you can sort of approximate that by one of your measly cubits and a handbreadth.
Okay.
So these are the measures of the altars. So the bottom shall be a cubit, and the breadth a cubit, and the border of it by the edge of it round about a span. And this shall be the base of the altar. From the bottom on the ground to the lower ledge shall be 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser edge to the greater ledge shall be 4 cubits, and the breadth of a cubit.
Hold on. I feel like in my brain, it's going into four-dimensional space. I can't keep track of all of this. There's too many planes.
Okay. The upper altar shall be 4 cubits, and the altar hearth and upward there shall be 4 horns.
Whoa.
Okay, so we've gone up another 4 cubits, I guess.
Horn? Wait, what's a horn?
I think maybe he means literally like we got horns coming.
Yeah, because remember the altar.
We got horns.
The altar there were always like these hooks, like these meat hooks off the edge of it. That was always a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got horns now on the sides of the thing. So the altar hearth shall be 12 cubits long by 12 broad.
Jase, you've drawn a stack of tofu with some like bananas sticking out the top of it.
Yes,
amazing.
I think that is accurate. That they built it out of tofu, and then put some bananas on it.
I don't know. Banana tofu doesn't sound good at all to me, but whatever.
No. Okay, so the altar shall be 12 cubits long by 12 broad, so it's square.
Square in the
four sides of it. Square in the 4 sides of it, in case you didn't know how many sides a square had. The ledge shall be 14 cubits long by 14 broad on the 4 sides of it, and the border about it shall be half a cubit. So there's kind of like there's like a rim around the edge so all the blood doesn't drip off the sides.
Ew, wait, is that what this is? It's a 3-story deathbed for these animals?
Not 3 stories.
I think they get killed. Do they get killed outside and then the meat is presented and burned on this altar? I think that's how it works. They get cleaned.
Yeah, I think they get killed out on the killing tables by the porch on the north.
Yes.
And then get brought in clean. And then inside our center temple, we've got this altar that we're now describing in much detail about its ledge and its horns and all that.
And somehow it's 3 stories high and we got to climb up to the top of it.
Yeah.
It's not 3 stories high. Come on now.
Is it not?
It's only some number of cubits tall.
It's 3 cubits.
Cubits aren't that big.
They're like that big?
This is a big thing, but it's not
that big.
It's not multiple stories.
Okay. All right.
I realized that in my drawings here, I have drawn my 3-story building and this altar at the same scale as each other.
Yeah.
But imagine this is just an altar, not a building.
Okay.
This is just an altar.
Okay. This is smaller. Okay.
I think we're going to get some instructions on how we actually do the sacrifices on this. So hopefully that'll help. Okay, yeah. So the ledge shall be 14 cubits long by 14 broad in the 4 sides of it, and the border about it shall be half a cubit, and the bottom of it shall be a cubit roundabout. And the steps of it shall look toward the east.
There's steps?
So I guess it is tall enough.
You
had to
gotta
have
walk up to
steps.
it.
Okay, cool.
So
cool, cool.
eastward steps. Oh, cute. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess east is the other side here, so I'll
Well,
just draw the steps.
It looks. Oh, you're right. Okay. There you go. Yeah, that's east.
Okay. So there's some steps off to the east. He said to me, "Son of man, thus says the Lord Yahweh, Wait, so he's not Yahweh? I don't know. Anyway, these are the ordinances of the altar in the day when they shall make it, to offer burnt offerings thereon and to sprinkle blood thereon."
No, that is Yahweh. He likes to say, "Thus says the Lord Yahweh."
Oh, you're right. He does.
Yeah, all the time.
Good call. Yeah.
He's like, I'm speaking in third person. Sorry, go.
You shall give to the priests, the Levites, who are of the seed of Zadok, who are near to me, to minister to me, says the Lord Yahweh, a young bull for a sin offering. You shall take the blood of it and put it on the horns of it. Okay, so we got kind of some like drops of blood on the horns here. And on the four corners of the ledge and on the border round about it. Okay, so just sort of blood all around the edges of this thing here. That's good. Thus shall you cleanse it and make atonement for it. You shall also take the bull of the sin offering, and it shall be burnt in the appointed place of the house outside of the sanctuary. Thank you very much. Outside of the sanctuary. On the second day, you shall offer a male goat without blemish for a sin offering. And they shall cleanse the altar as they did cleanse it with the bull. So kind of, blood on all the parts. And then
I'm sure I've asked this before, but what does a blemish mean on an animal?
Yeah.
It seems like just, if you think about like show dogs,
yeah,
like things they ding those for.
They ding for like height. They ding for, only having one testicle. They ding for...
Right, yeah. I think it's all the same kind of stuff.
Okay, so if this says a one testicle versus two, then blemish.
Well, now I just imagine a bunch of priests
Yeah.
with cows like on those little leashes that they have show dogs on and like running around.
They may run them around, yes, first, which is really funny.
Who's the best cow?
I'm assuming the priests are the judges, and then everyone brings in their goats and kind of parades them around the circle.
The hound group,
but it's
the sporting group,
the goat group, and all the goats come out, and the bull group, and they all
but the winner gets killed. I don't know. That's kind of awful for the cow. That's all that I'm saying.
I mean, no one disagrees. It's awful for the cows and goats.
Show dogs. None of it's for the dog.
No,
right?
That's true. The dog doesn't care. Yeah.
Yeah, but the dog doesn't die at the end. So
yeah, sure. This is true.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So where were we? So really nice blemish-free goats, and they shall cleanse the altar the same as they did. When you have made an end of cleansing it, you shall offer a young bull without blemish and a ram out of the flock without blemish. You shall bring them near before Yahweh, and the priests shall cast salt on them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering to Yahweh. It really brings out the flavor.
Well, but we learned, though, long ago, the priests are eating all this stuff.
Okay.
Some of it,
They're
least.
the ones who get the choicest meats here.
The choicest meats, which is honestly good. Like, I wouldn't want this to just be burned and go to waste.
Sure.
I understand sending it as an offering to Yahweh isn't waste, but, kind of waste.
But we also, there is a little bit of the theory that it's like this might be a big grift that the Levites are pulling on everyone where they don't get to own land.
But they get all the food.
They also don't have to work any land.
Yeah.
But they get all the food.
Yeah.
The best food.
The choicest, blemish-free food.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So then they do all these without blemish, and they offer them up. 7 days shall you prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. They shall also prepare a young bull and a ram out of the flock without blemish. 7 days shall they make atonement for the altar and purify it. So shall they consecrate it. When they have accomplished the days, it shall be that on the 8th day and forward, the priests shall make your burnt offerings on the altar and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, says the Lord Yahweh.
Is that it?
Finally. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, and that's all it takes? Just build this very, very large, very complex universal city walk.
That's it. And I'll love you finally.
Run a freaking purebred goat show, and then I'm going to accept you. That's all it takes, people.
It's only a couple things. Don't worry about it.
Easy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. All right.
And then there we have it. And that's it. We did it. We've built the temple. I'm pretty sure this chapter was the end of the temple instructions.
Okay.
We have 2 more episodes of Zeki's.
What is going to happen between now and the end of this book? Like, what? I don't even know. Like, what are predictions? What's going to happen?
I hope, I mean, I guess this was the final viewing of God. I was hoping for one more like banger of a viewing, but I don't know.
With more like eyeballs and wheels and stuff like that, you mean?
Yeah. Is Zeke's going to die? Because as always, I want our characters to go out in a blaze of glory. That's what I'm hoping for.
I see.
That's my prediction.
I have no idea. I don't know if Ezekiel dies at the end.
That's true. I remember way back when you were so excited for Moses to die.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Just
right.
chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, we need to do some psalms.
Oh, you're right. Oh, gosh. Okay. Got to cast that off.
Yeah, here we go.
Get ready.
Let's do it.
Whew. Hard reset.
And now it's time for Silly Psalms with DBS, the part of the show where DBS comes out and reads some psalms.
For the chief musician on an instrument of Gath, whatever that might be, by Asaph. 81. This is 81, by the way. Sing aloud to God, our strength. Make a joyful shout to the God of Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, exactly. Raise a song and bring here the tambourine. Ooh. The pleasant lyre with the harp. Blow the trumpet at the new moon. At the full moon on our feast day. This feels like very horoscope type thing.
Oh, like very pagan, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. For it is a statute for Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob. He appointed it in Joseph for a covenant. When he went out over the land of Egypt, I heard a language that I didn't know. In quotations, I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were freed from the basket. You called in trouble, and I delivered you. I answered you in the secret place of thunder. I tested you at the waters of Meribah. End quote. Selah.
Wow.
Another quote. Hear, my people, and I will testify to you. Israel, if you would listen to me, there shall be no strange God in you. Neither shall you worship any foreign god. I am Yahweh, your God, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, boy. Sounds like a David line.
It does. It may be. But my people didn't listen to my voice. Israel desired none of me. So I let them go after the stubbornness of their hearts, that they may walk in their own counsels. Oh, that my people would listen to me, that Israel would walk in my ways. I would soon subdue their enemies and turn my hand against their adversaries. The haters of Yahweh would cringe before him.
Oh, haters gonna cringe.
Haters gonna
hate and cringe. And their punishment would last forever. But he would have also fed them with the finest of the wheat. I will satisfy you with honey out of the rock.
Oh, my.
TM. The
Oh,
rock?
my.
Like the rock is giving them the honey.
Boy.
That's it.
Wouldn't we all like some honey
From the rock?
from the rock?
I mean,
From his candy out?
yes, I would.
All right. Psalm 82.
Woo.
Psalm by Asaph. God presides in the great assembly. He judges among the gods. Quote, how long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? This is a reference to other gods, y'all.
Yep.
Also a
They're
Selah.
real.
Stella.
Again, quote, defend the weak, the poor, and the fatherless. Maintain the rights of the poor and oppressed. Rescue the weak and needy. Deliver them out of the hand of the wicked.
Yeah.
End quote. They don't know. Neither do they understand. They walk back and forth in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are gods. All of you are sons of the Most High. Nevertheless, you shall die like men and fall like one of the rulers. Arise, God, judge the earth, for you inherit all of the nations.
Wow, that was a nice little easy one.
That was it? That was brief. Wow. Goodness.
Yep, short and sweet. Now, that was interesting to get a couple of different references to other gods.
Yeah, always.
Definitely. Yeah.
Always.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like they're throughout this, right? Like anyone who tries to pretend that they're not, it's just like, no, they mention them. Yahweh talks about them.
All over the place.
All the followers of Yahweh talk about them. Like that's, it's right there.
Yep.
Open your eyes. It's right there.
It truly is. Open your eyes.
Okay, folks.
Well, thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, and send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jase Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad.